Hello everyone, this is Mary Ann, and it's already past midnight, so technically it's already December 1, and I'm still in the office because I'm finishing up something. I've already done the work, but the computer is rendering the file as final, and it still has about half an hour to go. So while waiting for that, I decided to take advantage of the silence here in the office and the fact that nobody else is using the connection, so it's going to be fast if I ever do get to upload this video tonight. So anyway, here's a flip through video of my pages for November 2014. Here's my HyperText color key. There are some changes here from last month's flip through because Tracy Reinhardt got the idea of using patterns instead of plain colors to shade in her HyperText. So I thought that was a really great idea. She is using the DIY fish inserts with the LM HyperText, but I am on the HyperText Petite. But they use pretty much the same principle, and her HyperTexts, her LM HyperTexts look really good, and I'm not as good an artist as she is, but I thought I could, use that idea to make the HyperText Petite easier for me to read. Now this one is actually a dark gray with white dots. It will stand for personal reading because the gray looks a lot like the olive in certain lighting. And sometimes I get confused between the two, but I hardly ever use these except on holidays. So it wasn't a problem. But December is coming, and I'm going to be with my family, which is what Olive is for, and I'm going to be doing some personal reading while on vacation, and it's going to be for 2 weeks. So I might get confused between the two. So I started in November using this particular color key. So dark gray with white dots is for personal reading, and olive is for time spent with family. As for the red, the plain red will be for school matters, and the red with white dots will be for time spent in actual study. So those are the new things that are in my HyperText color key. That's different from what you saw last month. And now here are the pages. I have written down here some of my month goals. It's just a white gel pen on black post-it, and I was not able to achieve the no tardiness goal. I was able to achieve the no chocolates goal and the no soda goal. I wasn't able to drink more water. I was not able to finish reading 3 books, and I have not been able to go back to swimming because I've been so busy. But that should not be a reason. Well, there's always December to try again. So here are the pages. I'm just going to flip through until I notice something new, and then I'm going to explain. Oh, here's something new. About a couple of days ago, I remembered what Shang Shan of DIY Fish posted in the Facebook group before. She posted a photo about a suggestion or an idea about how to tip in certain charts on the DIY Fish page, because the weekly charts on the DIY Fish page, DIY Fish inserts actually sits on the rings, and sometimes when you're flipping through your day on page or day on 2 pages, it's not easy to see your weekly chart, and you just keep doing kind of that. And she got the idea to take that and tip it in to an existing sheet, so you can fold it out and fold it in. So I thought that was a great idea, and I asked permission from her, and she said I can do that to my own pages as well. So I actually started towards the end of November. I started with a task list. Here is the task list. As you can see, I wasn't able to do half of them because I did not used to do a task list. At some point in time, I stopped doing the task list, and I just went to the daily list. But what happens is that some things don't get done because they don't need to get done on that particular day. So the ones that need to get done on that particular day ends up getting done, but because for lack of time, those that don't need to get done on that day get moved to another day. So there were a lot of oranges. So I thought maybe I could use the tip in method to create a weekly task list, and that's what I did. And then the back of this is blank because this is really just a separate sheet of paper that I printed this on, and then I cut it down to size and then pasted it to the edge of this paper, which left this sheet blank. So I thought this could be a good space for my weekly summary, which is what I did. But before I was able to get to these items, I tested out, I tried to make a weekly summary of the past weeks of November. So I was able to figure out what are the areas in my life that I actually spend money on and time on. So the categories kept changing per week as I tried to sum them up, the hours and the expenses and the earnings. That's basically the content of my weekly summary. So they kept changing, and I kept making adjustments to the items. And then finally, when I was on this particular week, I think I have pretty much summed it up or finalized it. Let me see, where's the, here. There were still some changes here. So, but by the time it had gotten around to this particular week, I pretty much knew what I wanted. I actually did this one, and then I had to redo it because I wanted to finalize it right away because November was over. So I just cut out that part that had some changes and then pasted it on here because I didn't want to, take out this entire tipped in sheet because there was already things written on it. So this is the final items for the weekly summary. And it's the same one that I put on here. I've already actually started, but I kept making mistakes, things like that. But the idea is to have a weekly tipped in sheet like that, and then towards the end of the month, it's the summary for the month. So, for the week. So tasks for the week, summary for the week, and then when everything is done, just fold them over and then start on the next one, which is December 1. So that is why you have a tipped in sheet here. I was not actually on here in November 1 and November 2, but I did this summary yesterday or the other day, and I also did the summary of the other weeks yesterday because I wanted to figure out what items to put on my weekly summary page. That's it. I just wanted to explain this just in case you see this in the flip through and I don't explain it anymore. So there's an explanation why this is here. So on with the flip through. And this is the weekly summary for the week of November 17 to 23. And this is the actual week in which I actually started using the tipped in task sheet and the weekly summary. So that's how it looks like. And this is yesterday. And this would be the weekly review, which I will be completing later. And that's it. That is my flip through for the month of November. And here's just a list of the YouTube videos that I'm planning to make. And I'm going to be starting with this one right now because it's already December 1. So see, I've even already crossed out a couple of things because they were done like after midnight. So that's it. I'm not gonna be holding you onto this video any longer, and I'm gonna sign off for now. And then thank you so much for watching. Until next time, bye.